Thom Hartmann is a liberal radio host. We covered a story about him not too long ago. I really like this guy. I followed his career closely. He's really smart. You know he's coming from a good place when he's talking about whatever he's talking about, and he's well-researched, well-read. He's going to absolutely annihilate a conservative caller on the issue of taxes. So what happens here is the caller is going to say that the capital gains tax rate, which is, of course, the tax on money that you make from stocks and investments, he says that rate should be 0 because if you charge anything for the capital gains rate, it's essentially a double tax. Listen.
Bruce from Houston, Texas, driving through Chicago, listening to WCPT, says, you're a capitalist and you want to debate me on the capital gains tax?
Yes, the capital gains tax rate should be an absolute 0.
Okay, you're a capitalist. Tell me about your capitalism.
No, well, first off, I'm a venture capitalist. I'm a private equity. Make private equity investments, and I also operate and own companies. And as a result of my investing money that has already been taxed at the ordinary income rates the first time that I earned it, you now are asking me to take a risk to invest in other businesses that employ people, that create growth, create jobs, and create economic prosperity.
Yes, and let me ask you a question, Bruce.
And wait, let me finish. That money not only has already been taxed, when I invested in a business, that business itself pays income tax.
Yeah, Bruce, you have so much sympathy for me. My heart is bleeding for you. Let me ask you a simple question. When I get a paycheck, my money has already been taxed. So because my money has been taxed, and also I own my own business, and the business has paid a tax on its income. So, my business has paid a tax, I pay a tax, so my money has already been double taxed. So when I go out and buy something, should I not have to pay sales tax?
Oh, checkmate. Checkmate. I believe Tom just said, hey, come here, buddy. Let me tell you a little secret. Oh, you like that? Yeah, that's what I thought. And by the way, he's right. Everything is double taxed, but Tom's not done. He's just getting started.
Sales tax has nothing to do. That is a tax at consumption. That is not a tax on capital at investment level.
What? So what?
So what? It makes an enormous difference.
No, it makes no difference at all. Listen, Bruce, let me just play a clip for you. Here is the guy whose logic I'm following. Okay, here he is.
We're going to close the unproductive tax loopholes that have allowed some of the truly wealthy to avoid paying their fair share. In theory, some of those loopholes were understandable, but in practice, they sometimes made it possible for millionaires to pay nothing, while a bus driver was paying 10% of his salary, and that's crazy. Do you think the millionaire ought to pay more in taxes than the bus driver, or less?
Now, what Reagan did in 1985, was he lowered the top tax rate down to 28%. He raised the capital gains rate up to 28% because Reagan said that people making money with their minds or their hands should not pay a lower or higher tax rate than people making money with money. And you're arguing to me that you're making money with money, which you just happen to have because after tax money, sure, but it's your money. You making money with money is somehow so superior to my making money with the labor of my mind here on this radio program that I should pay an income tax on the money that I take as in my salary, but you should not pay an income tax on the money that you take from investing money. That seems to me, to quote Ronald Reagan, crazy.
Boom, 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 boom. I believe that's a KO. That's not even a TKO. That's just a KO. Like the caller's laid out on the ground right now, bleeding from his ear, and he's got a compound fracture of his femur, and he's like, oh. Why did I call into this radio show? But look, man, let me try to crystallize this the best way possible. So, to have no capital gains rate tax, so Mitt Romney, you know how he's worth like $1 gazillion? You know how he makes his money? Through investments and through stocks. So when he was running for president, for example, there were 2 years that they focused on. 1 year he made about $14 million for a year's worth of work, which is just his investments. He just makes money off his investments. Another year he made over $20 million from his investments. Now, he paid a 14% tax rate because the capital gains rate is actually it's 15%, but for whatever reason he paid 14%, some sort of deduction. And somebody who works as a construction worker or a dentist or an accountant or a plumber, they could have paid 20% or 25% or 30% or whatever the number is for making about $80,000, $90,000 a year. Does that make sense? That Mitt Romney pays less as a percentage in taxes than an actual person who's laboring and doing work when Mitt Romney admittedly is doing nothing. His money is making money because he's making money just from the stock market. And that's how he makes all of his money nowadays. Does that make sense? And this guy's not saying, hey, it's cool that he makes a lower rate and he should keep making a lower rate. He's saying, no, I want him to pay nothing. So the plumber and the accountant and the teacher and the construction worker, they should continue to pay taxes. But the person who sits on his ass all day and is already rich and makes money off of his investments, because by the way, the people who make money off their investments are usually already pretty well off, they should pay nothing in taxes. That is insanity. Not only is this guy wrong, the exact opposite of what he's saying is what we should do. We should at least link the capital gains tax rate to the income tax rate so that they get taxed the same. But I would even be open to, hearing a debate or having a conversation about making the capital gains rate even higher than the income tax rate. Because look, if you're actually laboring for your money, you should probably get taxed less than somebody like Mitt fucking Romney.